right? That's why that's happening. People still feel that they're riding the wave of 2020, 2021, and a little bit of 2022, not understanding that that ship has sailed, right? They're late to the trip. And so people still think that that is happening, and that's why they're pricing it that way. Now, reality sits in because it'll sit there for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, right? 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and you get nothing, right? And it's just now the seller is like, oh, they start catching up on like, oh, wow. So I guess it's not as hot. Maybe I should reduce the price. That's what ends up happening. So in those type of opportunities that I see there, because what you're telling me is that you are seeing ARV of 385, but they're listing it for 290, 299. That's a good thing, right? I'm going to put that in my pipeline to make sure that I'm always on top of that. Every single week I'm looking at that opportunity and see if it's pending, if it's sold, if you can still make the deal. I'll continue to call that realtor and I'll continue to make the offer where it needs to be. Because at some point, the seller is going to have to drop their price or drop the listing and keep the house. Those are the two options, right? And so I think those are great opportunities, to be quite honest. I would love to see that. What I end up seeing is them wanting 385 for a property that should be, 150. Because it needs all the work, right? So I see that. But if I can see that margin, man, I'm going to try to work that deal as much as humanly possible. But people are buying these type of properties still, maybe a little longer on the market, but still being sold. Yeah, it's very true. It just takes the right buyer to come along, right? It's not a craze like it was 18 months ago. So it just needs it's kind of like normalizing the market. Things are getting a little bit more stable. Prices are dropping because if you're any kind of seller, you want to sell your property. I have a property on the market since the end of January. I have not gotten one offer on my property. Not one. It's a beautiful property. You guys want to see it? See if I can find it. Not one offer on the property. Property is a brand new house. It's in an okay area. I don't think it's the hottest area in the world, but it's an okay area. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the property, and I can't sell it. So I'm a seller. What do? I have to drop the price. I may not drop the price on month number 1, number 2, or number 3 because I'm currently on month number 5 on this property. Now I'm like, okay, well, I can't continue to make these mortgage payments and become negative on this deal. And so I'm going to lower my price, right? It's natural. It's natural. And I think the market is normalizing. And it's okay. The deals are still being sold, but you need to look at the story. This is why, like for me, I go ahead and I take a look at active deals, pending deals, and sold deals. When you look at comps in those three filters, what ends up happening is you can start seeing a story. Okay, people are listing the property at $299. They did a price drop of 10,000 and then a couple weeks later, now it's pending, right? At 289. Now I wait and I see, okay, wow, it actually closed, but it closed at 269. So what's the story? The story is people want 299. They do a price drop. Things start to get a little bit more in the negotiation stage. And then we finally figure out, okay, yeah, this was the number. The number was actually 270, not 299. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why it's important for you guys to understand that your market and what's actually happening in your market. How I do that? I look at active, I look at pending, and I look at sold. I am expanding now a little bit more. I'm not doing just the 90 days anymore. I'm actually doing 6 months because it's been a pretty, sideways market for the last 6 months. January, things were not doing so hot, and We've had a little bit up and down, so I'm doing 6 months, and that's kind of giving me the story. It's giving me data as to, okay, how long is the property going to be on the market for, right? What is the average time on market, which is important in the novation side of things as well, because when you put the deals under contract in a novation deal, you have to understand how long you're probably going to be in that house to find the actual buyer. And that helps to determine whether it is a good deal, a novation deal or not, right? Understanding that market, and especially the retail market, because the cash market is still cash and it's still pretty fast, relatively fast, if you have a really, really, really great deal. It'll happen right away. I got a deal on the contract on last Thursday, and I understand it was a 3-day weekend, but I pushed that to our cash buyers, and we had a fully executed cash offer on Monday, Memorial Day, and so we're setting up to close by the 23rd or whatever it is. But it was a smoking hot deal. When I say smoking hot, it was because the house was in a fire. So it was literally a smoking hot deal. So but yeah, I mean, we put the deal on the contract at a very, very great price. The cash buyers, they went to see the property, and I got a couple of different offers. I got a 250 offer, I got a 270 offer, I got a 280 offer. My advertised price was 289, and I got my 280, right? And so cash deals happen fast because they're good. They're really good. It's no-brainer stuff. But when you do the novation route, you're dealing with the retail market, and depending on where you are, you have to understand what that is. How long does it actually take from time that you market the property to the time that it potentially would close, right? Does that make sense? Oh, Amanda's here.